Yeah, time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Go ahead and tell the college basketball, Gonzaga, they just play in that crappy league. They can't beat anyone. Boy, they get run out of the belt yesterday. They went and played Texas. Texas played the best game Texas played probably in, 5-10 years. Chris Spears got Texas going. Gonzaga got routed in a game that might soon be a league game. Because evidently the AD from Gonzaga was meeting with the commissioner of the Big 12 about maybe joining them, making this a league game. 93-74. The second-ranked team in the country got pumped last night. Watch them just roll Kentucky this weekend. Good morning to you. It is your opening drive. On a busy Thursday morning, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
Beanie time, isn't it? Beanies,
It is.
gloves, a little chile out there. I wasn't getting in the car this morning. Cold.
Yeah, I actually had to heat it up.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people are like, I'm not going to put on the heater until whatever the date is. All right.
All
You know when I'm going to put the heater on? When I'm cold.
My car was like frozen. I couldn't see out my windshield.
Yeah, so you got to sit there and put the defroster on so you can de-ice it.
Yeah.
You know when I put the heater on?
When you
I'm
want
cold.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
I love the. Nope, not until November 15th. We're not. No.
Why
I told
is
my
it a
family
date?
because there's people that are like, nope. I put down the law. Okay. All right, freeze your ass off in your own house. Like here's when I'm going to do it. When it gets cold. How about that? I mean, I don't know. It's just me. When do you eat? Well, I mean, it's not dinner time. I don't know. I'm freaking hungry. It's when I eat. Like, do you have to eat? If you're hungry at 3:30 in the afternoon, will you eat? Or are you gonna no? I don't want to ruin dinner.
You eat when you eat.
Right? I mean, when do you eat? Or do you tell your kid, nope, you can't spoil dinner?
Whenever I'm hungry and it works into the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, that's in our schedule. it hit 2:30ish. I'm like, damn, I'm hungry.
Yeah, we've been up for hours.
Yeah, I'm like, how did get this late? All right. Gosh, we got a lot today. 7:30 this morning, we're going to talk to Sebastian Noel because the state football semifinals for the big schools are coming up. We're crowning champions for the smaller schools. And so we're going to talk high school football with the voice of the people. Sebastian Noel from ProView Networks. He's doing both semifinals from what I understand, JJ, on TV. The Centennial La Cueva and the was it Volcano Vista and Cleveland, right?
Yes.
So he's doing both of those. So we talk high school sports coming up at 7:30 with Sebastian Noel. 8:30 this morning, Jerry Palm, CBSSports.com. We're going to 2 weeks left in the regular season of football, college football. We're going to catch up with Jerry. 1 month from today, 1 month from today is the New Mexico Bowl. So bowl season starts basically a month from yesterday, and we're here, so we're gonna. It's freaking nuts.
You're like,
yeah. As I say that,
I know
I'm
you're
like,
talking to yourself.
Yeah, and don't forget the New Mexico Bowl 3-day sale is going on right now. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Tickets in the whole lower bowl just $30. North end zone just $15. General admission. They're normally $40 and $25, and all of the orders that are taken over these 3 days will be entered into drawings for VIP upgrades. So if you want to take advantage of that, I strongly suggest you do. NewMexicoBowl.com or 505-925-LOBO, 505-925-5626. 8:30, Jerry Palm, 9 o'clock. Greg Heyer, New Mexico State's basketball coach, is going to be with Lobos and Aggies in the pit tomorrow. Saturday. Tickets are going quickly for that. Richard Pitino will be with us tomorrow. The Aggies head coach, Greg Heyer, will be with us at 9 o'clock this morning. And then maybe at 9:30, some Lobo football. We're working on that as senior night, and the final home game of the season is tomorrow. Did you watch the hoops last night? Did you watch some action? Did you see the weather at Mount Pleasant, which I'm told is neither a mountain nor pleasant? Central Michigan, Western Michigan. It just snowed the whole first half, ice the second half, and what was it? Ended up being 12-10? Is that what it was?
They're talking feet of snow.
Yeah,
with the storm that's moving through the Northeast.
Yeah,
not inches, feet.
They're saying that Buffalo should have feet of snow this weekend. I just picked up a kicker for fantasy football and didn't homes in the Northeast and didn't even check where they're playing, which was a bad move. Really,
it's that time of year.
Yeah, it is that time of year. So what did you watch last night? Did you watch the Texas Gonzaga? Because I watched a bunch of that.
Yeah,
I flipped over and watched
collegiate NBA.
All right,
all the place.
Texas looked flipping good. Now, look, Chris Beard is a really, really good coach. He might be the next great coach. If you look at the young generation of coaches, right? Like you say, okay, there's the old guard right now. There's Pitino and Calipari and Self, right? Who have established themselves, and probably Mark Fuse in there, guys who've been there 20 years plus.
Tom Izzo.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom Izzo, absolutely, right. There's and Dana up at Oregon. I'm forgetting his last name.
Altman.
Thank you. Chris Beard, I think is kind of a front runner, is that new generation of potential great coach.
Yeah, the next shelf of someone you could say, is already one of the best coaches in Division I basketball, but you're just kind of looking at, as you're saying, the legacy. I think Rick Pitino is kind of off the radar.
Just because he's at Iona, but
Yeah,
he's still
but he's-
there.
like, he's there.
Look, if you say his name, the respect that goes
Yeah,
with his name.
But in terms, when you think of, because even the last years, we haven't talked about Rick Pitino like we did.
because
Coach
he's at
K,
Iona.
Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
But yes, like the level
Yeah.
of coaches that we have in Division I college basketball is really impressive right now. And Chris Beard is definitely established, and he'll, it's just time. And then he'll be the guy we'll talk about, oh, yeah, Chris Beard been here for 20 years.
It feels
doing
that way,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Does Nick Cronin feel like one of those guys?
No.
No. Okay, he's got to do something more at UCLA. I mean, they got to the Final Four, didn't they? In like his first 2 years at UCLA,
I think Chris Beard,
he
Mick
did it at
Cronin would be a
Cincinnati.
good comparison.
Yeah, I'm just.
I do. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of really good coaches out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm just what Chris Beard did at Texas Tech. He did nothing at UNLV because he was there for I think 9 days and then got on a plane and got the hell out of there. Which is still to me one of the most bizarre stories. Like I can't think of Chris
Almost
Beard
was
and not
head
think that
coach.
story. I can't think of him and not
UNLV.
think that story. Hey Marie, they signed Chris Beard. What was he at Arkansas State or something like that? Little Rock.
Yes.
Little Rock. And it went to the NCAA championship tournament. I think they went to the Sweet 16. UNLV hired him as their coach. This was when they got Marvin Menzies, and brought him in. And it took days and days and days and days for the University of Nevada Board of Regents to approve his contract. And so while they held the press conference and they celebrated Chris Beard as their head coach, they did not. Here we are again, sign the contract, right? And Texas Tech was looking for a coach, flew a plane in, and the story is they interviewed him on the tarmac and flew him out of there. And
What?
and he's like, yeah, sorry, guys, this bleep show. I mean, I've been here 9 days, and you haven't given me my contract yet. They just gave me a boatload more money. I'm going to Big 12 dose. See ya. I'm out.
Wow.
And UNLV is just going, that's just so wrong. And so, really?
No,
What a
it's
story.
wrong that you waited that long.
Remember that? Remember that gong
I
show?
don't know. Do we want to pay this guy this much money? Are we really going to do this?
Well, it was a big issue. The Regents, remember, because Alford was offered already at Reno. It was Musselman. And so Musselman, the people were going, well, you're paying him way more than you're paying the guy at Reno, and it's the same system. And there was this whole battle amongst the academics who are the Regents who have to approve the contracts with the University of Nevada system. And it got bogged down so long that like 9 days in, he's like, yeah, see ya. Texas Tech just gave me a contract worth way more money to go to a bigger conference and have a better opportunity with better facilities. It was really nice. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah. And then they hired Marvin Menzies.
Wow.
Remember that?
Is that
Like that happened.
the biggest miss
What?
in
Marvin?
like Mountain West history?
No, it's not. No.
Not getting Chris Beard
not getting
signed,
Chris Beard.
sealed, and delivered.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how many other coaches were really close on other things. You can go back through the years.
Does
There-
that-
like Bobby Knight was rumored to be coach here years and years and years and years ago. When he went to Texas Tech, there
Really?
was a rumor that he was coming here. I don't know if that's
Was
big,
it
but it's a big miss.
like a bunch of dudes that were like,
Probably,
oh,
yeah,
Bobby
probably a bunch
Knight,
of
or
dudes who
was
call
there,
our
like,
show. Yeah,
like a legit conversation
I
with
don't
someone.
know. So I think it was before me.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was here. I don't remember.
Because there's always those
No,
people that say, I this is the guy. This is who we need to get.
No, I know. I hear it every day. I don't
But-
know where. But yeah, that mess happened. Meanwhile, Chris Beard is left Texas Tech, So he's left two fan bases pretty cranky when he left. UNLV was like, wait, what? You just did what? And then he went and built Texas Tech, and not only did he leave, but he left for Texas and a lot more money and in the same conference, and he's got to go back there every year. But there's no argument. I mean, did you watch them last night? They are athletic. They are dynamic. They are cohesive. That was an impressive showing by Texas last night. 93-74, Gonzaga's worst loss since 2014.
Yeah, they got rolling offensively, hit 13 threes in the game. And Chris Beard, the one thing with his teams, they're always going to be some of the best defensive teams in the nation. And then you go out there and score 93 points, you're going to beat a lot of people. Gonzaga's going to be good. They're not as good right now in the backcourt, and so they're going to have to develop. And I think Drew Timme, I like Drew Timme. And this is a tough one. I think Drew Timme is a very good college player. I think he's one of the most overrated players in the country at the same time, because he does not dominate and take over games as the best player on the floor, which he's going to have to be early in the season for Gonzaga as they try to figure out who their backcourt is. Because Gonzaga over the last few years has been upperclassmen. They've hit on some immediate transfers that have been able to step in and play
from
guard
San Jose
position,
State.
and they just don't have that right now.
I think Drew Timme's a really good college player. I don't think he played well last night, and I think he was neutralized by athletes last night.
It's a problem.
Yeah, no, it is, and it happened in the final. Now it got him all the way to the final, and there were really good athletes up until then too. I thought he had a bad night. I don't know that I think he's going to be a great pro, and I think that's why he's still at Gonzaga, and I think he knows that too.
Chet Holmgren, pretty big difference on this team last year.
Well, Chet Holmgren, that's why he was the number 2 overall pick in the NBA. Chet Holmgren was terrific. Chet Holmgren was a once every decade kind of a player, right? I mean, I told you this, and I watched him in the summer league. Chet Holmgren reminds me of a lot. His game reminds me a lot of Kevin Durant's game. Long, he's athletic, but he can take it outside. He can play with his back to the basket. He hasn't developed. He's not Kevin Durant yet. I don't know that he ever will be, but it reminded me of that. Gonzaga just got pumped last night, and then they go back and remember Kentucky won't play them in the Kennel on their on-campus gym, so they're playing in the Spokane Arena, but they get Kentucky to go up there. They're going to Spokane this weekend, which is a good watch. Yeah, which is a really good watch this weekend.
That game, I think that game is in that. What can I think of?
Is it a tournament though?
No, I think they're playing it in
Spokane Arena.
Seattle?
Is it in Seattle? I thought it was in Spokane Arena, but I'll double check. I'm fairly certain that they're still going to Spokane.
Yeah. Okay.
But Calipari, remember we had this conversation.
Yeah,
not in their kennel.
That's right.
But in the Spokane Arena. Yeah, Spokane's on the east side of the state. Seattle's on the west side of the state. Yeah. And the university is in Spokane. So they're not going all the way over to Seattle to play it. They're getting the game in their city. They just wouldn't play in their little 6,000-seat gym. Remember that was the whole thing. We haven't played in a 6,000-seat gym in 50 years. We're Kentucky, so they're going to go to the 12,000-seat arena and play in the Spokane Arena. That's where that is. All right, 505-246-0610. We get football tonight. Packers and Titans. I got Maction last night. I couldn't keep my eyes off of Central Michigan and Western Michigan. Went the wrong way. In Central Michigan, the Fire Up Chips will not be bowl eligible this year after losing a snow game to their rivals last night. We'll go there. Kyrie is coming back. Kevin Durant's making comments. The Nets are a mess. You got Cy Young winners. We got Lobos and Aggies. 7:30, we're talking high school stuff with Sebastian Noel. It's the opening drive at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Makes a
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Footy tonight, right here on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, the Titans, the Packers. So does Aaron Rodgers keep it rolling? Christian Watson keep it rolling like they did last week? Titans have a bunch of dudes hurt, short week. And guys that are not starting, multiple starters. They'll be without their starting center, Ben Jones. Their starting safety, Amani Hooker. Their kicker's out. Randy Bullock's got a right calf. Get him out of your fantasy lineup. Starting linebacker, Bud Dupree's out. Backup safety, Lonnie Johnson out. So I don't know, man. The Titans have won 6 in a row. I look at this. It's in Green Bay. I'm going to guess it's cold because I watched a game in Michigan last night, which isn't far from Green Bay. So that tells me that's cold. Mandy was just there last week, right? She said it was kind of chilly. Who do you guys like tonight?
Packers.
Okay.
On Packers at home. I don't think it's going to be a Christian Watson 3-touchdown game.
Damn it.
First Packers since Randall Cobb in 2015 have a 3-touchdown game. It was Devontae Adams.
Let's have an Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon game.
I think they're going to do a lot of that against the Titans.
All right, here you go tonight. Right now in Green Bay, the high today, 28. Low tonight, 33. So it'll be, 25 degrees and 30% chance, 50% chance of snow today, 30% tonight. So it's going to be cold and
It's a different kind of cold.
potentially snowy. Different than what?
Like here. Like just the
It's a
climate.
wet
It's
cold.
a wet cold.
Yeah, wet cold is cold. All right. So who does that favor? I mean, those guys got Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they do.
They play defense. Titans have played like they're hurting in the secondary, but I'm going to guess in a game where it's going to be cold and snowy against a Aaron Rodgers team who, I mean, he wants to run the ball all night. All right, so I'm down a couple of safeties, but I'm still stout up front. What do you think the spread is? I haven't checked.
It's -3.5.
Titans?
No, Green Bay Packers -3.5.
I'll take the Titans at 3.5 points.
And over under 41 points.
Yeah, the under feels feasible too, just because of the weather. But so the Titans are 6-3, have won 6 in a row. They're a first place team because the Packers had a good fourth quarter in overtime the other day. All of a sudden, they're back.
Yep, that's.
Is it okay that I'm not totally buying that?
Absolutely.
You can totally not buy the Titans either. They beat the Colts twice. The Texans.
Yep.
The Raiders.
Yep.
They've done their job, but this is
Broncos.
not one where
The
this is not a
Broncos.
shocking game where it's how disrespectful the Titans that they're 3-point road dogs at Green Bay.
So it's not like the Packers have been losing to the Packers lost to the Lions, Commanders. I guess Giants, Jets, Commanders are decent, Bills are good. Well, but the Packers have a hell of a schedule. When do they get the Colts twice, and the Lions twice, and when do they get that? They don't. Tell you what, this would be something if they win this, because this was Marie when you were out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, JJ, when JJ was out, Marie, you and I were having the conversation because there were talking heads saying, well, you know what? After they lose these next 3 games, you got to sit Rodgers and see what you got because they're going to be 3-9 and they're going to be done. Then they went out and beat the Cowboys. If they win this, they're 5-6 and kind of in the thick of the playoff hunt again. Right?
3-9. You never start Jordan Love. The ship has sailed.
Ever? Did they get the ship in the water yet?
No. It was one where they
No.
tried to do that ceremony, like, break the bottle, and then
And
they
the bottle
push it
didn't
out,
even
and the
break?
ship immediately just sinks.
Really? So
It didn't even float. It was just sinks.
Jordan Love cannot play at all.
No, that.
All right.
Not Green Bay.
I don't know that I'm totally on that because I don't know that I've seen enough. Now, to your point, young quarterbacks, we get a chance, go out and ball a little bit, and we see something, we have an idea. And if I had to lean one way, I'd probably lean to, all right, probably that ship isn't going to sail. But if they were 3-9, you weren't going to play Jordan Love?
No.
Yeah, I would have. Just let me know. Just let me know 100%. Do I got to get back in the quarterback draft, especially with this draft that's going on?
You know.
They see him every day.
Yeah.
That's why they gave Aaron Rodgers $50 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine
That's why they were happy bending certain ways to bring Aaron Rodgers back.
Oh wait, $50 million a year. Yeah, not just here's $50 million. $50 million annually.
And not like, okay,
Yeah.
we'll go to Jordan Love then.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, I guess not. All right, the Commanders have made a decision on their quarterback.
Dun dun dun.
Carson Wentz is healthy.
Tricked us, Jeff.
What? What'd I do?
You tricked us.
And Carson Wentz will not be their starter. They're going back to Taylor Heineke, as they should go back to Taylor Heineke. The Commanders didn't have to make a decision because Carson Wentz is not practicing. Quote from Ron Rivera, we have time. Heineke's done some good things. We'll see what happens this week. It's not just about the individual as much as how it affects the team. Having this situation is a pretty good one. It's a good problem to have, end quote. Is it? I mean, your options are Taylor Heineke and Carson Wentz. I can tell you Taylor Heineke's playing better than, I can give you probably 8 to 10 quarterbacks, maybe 15 that he's playing better than.
And yeah, that team has just been playing better.
Yeah, he's playing better than anything the Rams are throwing out there. I could argue he's playing better than Kyler Murray. Anything the Saints are throwing out there, anything that Carolina's throwing out there, better than Marcus Mediocre. Is he better than Jared Goff this year? Jared Goff started off well, but is he better than him now? Who's playing better right now, Taylor Heineke or Jared Goff?
Right now?
Yeah, the last few weeks.
Well,
Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
That's 6. Better than, would you say it's better than anything the Patriots are throwing out there? I would. All right, I'm going with 7. All right, I'm there. Better than Jacoby Brissett is 8. Better than anything the Steelers are throwing out there is 9. Better than Davis Mills is 10. Better than anything the Colts are throwing out there is 11. And I'd argue he's been better than Russell Wilson this year, 12. I would argue he's been better than Derek Carr this year. He's better than 13 quarterbacks right now. He's playing better. I don't. Maybe he's not better, but he's playing better.
In the moment ranking, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm not investing long term in Taylor Heineke over Derek Carr or Russell Wilson. I'm just telling you who's been playing better over the last month. Taylor Heineke's better than 13 quarterbacks. That puts him right square in the middle of the pack of the NFL. And Carson Wentz isn't that. I mean, this feels like a really easy answer when he's got to make this decision, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And the teams win. They just went out and beat the Eagles. Nobody else has beat the Eagles, right?
Correct.
Are they a playoff team right now? So the NFC right now is it's the Eagles 1.
Strongest division.
Who's the ones? The Eagles beat the Vikings, right? So Eagles 1, Vikings 2, Seahawks 3, Tampa Bay is 4.
4 now.
And then your 5 seed is the Giants. Your 6 seed is the Cowboys. And your 7th seed is a tiebreaker between Washington. No, San Francisco's 5-4, Washington's 5-5. So San Francisco's a half game better than Washington. So they're right in the thick of it right now. So that's where we are right now. I mean, everybody's still got games at hand, buys, and everything else. You know the worst team in the NFC is? Oh, the Rams would be, but they're 3-6. The Bears are 3-7. The Bears are 3-7. The Bears feel like the worst team in the NFC to you? They don't, do they?
No.
Not in the moment because of how electric Justin Fields has been.
Right.
But
You see
overall,
a lot of promise.
It was not great until the last 2 weeks of Justin Fields.
Yeah. They give up points. They score points the last couple weeks. They don't feel that bad to me, but they can't lose the Lions like that. Lions have won 3 times.
Why can't they lose to the Lions like that?
Fair enough. If they're going to make
the whole thing about
it's
the
divisional.
Bears now, Justin Fields in the fourth quarter, he had 6 passing yards, and you got to make some plays to close out games. Even when everyone says, run the football, do this, do that, you got to make throws to close games. In the NFL, it's always this back and forth. If the team throws too much, you're not running enough, yada yada yada. Chicago traded their 2 best defensive players away, and we're surprised they couldn't close out a game.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Do you realize that the red hot Detroit Lions are on a 2-game win streak?
Let's go.
Maybe Jared Goff is playing a little better than you give him credit for.
All right, we got to go.
They got the Giants coming up, though, and then the Bills.
Yeah, we got to get Sebastian in here. Voice of the people. We're talking high school football when we come back with Sebastian Noel. I want to tell you about IPS because they protect my home. They protect businesses. They protect stores. They keep the bad guys away. International Protective Service is IPS. You see their cars, their vehicles all around town. This is affordable private security. The bad guys are out there on the increase. The officer shortage continues. It takes a long time to get the cops to come out just because there's not enough of them. IPS responds in 5 to 7 minutes. Trained, armed security personnel. They keep the bad guys away. I've trusted them for years. They have been there when my alarm goes off. They have been there and stayed there when we've left the garage door open at night. I say we. My brother's coming back for the bowl game. I can tell them to close the garage door. They stand there until somebody comes down and make sure nobody comes in. They keep you safe. Protect what's important to you, what you've worked so hard to build. IPS 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420 or IPSglobal.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
As a mom, I try to make the best choices for my family and our health. That's why I choose Western Sky Community Care. It's a Medicaid plan with quality health coverage and special benefits like Boys and Girls Club membership credit, additional dental benefits, and wellness and support programs. I decide which Medicaid plan is right for us. I choose Western Sky Community Care.
Learn more about Western Sky Community Care by visiting discoverwesternsky.com today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Evergard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the
Sumner House beat Lordsburg. 6-man football, Gateway Christian state champions. 2A will play for this championship this weekend. Jal and Texaco. Everyone else is in semifinal mode. It is your opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Big ones on the big screen for you. You'll be able to watch them and go out to them as we get ready for semifinal weekend in high school football. And that means we check in with the voice of the people, the voice of ProView Networks. He is Sebastian Noel. Good day. How are you?
Good morning. It's good. Good to be with you. It's that time, isn't it? This is it. The Final Four.
Appreciate the flexibility. So you're going to be all over the place. You get Friday night, at New Senda Stadium. You get number 1 seed Volcano Vista against or number 1 seed Cleveland against 5 seed Volcano Vista in the 6A semifinal. And then you go down to the Field of Dreams because, of course, the number 2 seed should have to travel to the number 3 seed. La Cueva goes down to see Centennial.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. You know, we when we saw the schedule come out and we saw that La Cueva game was going to be on a Saturday, that opened up that possibility to travel. Since the JAL game is on Friday night, we'll have a crew at that championship game as well. But that certainly opened up the possibility of us, my Daryl and myself, going to both semifinals, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah, the JAL game's in Texaco. How's their Dairy Queen in Texaco? Have you been there?
I have not.
Nor have I.
You know, but I've been through Texaco, and you know the oil money's been good to Texaco, so I'm sure that Dairy Queen is top of the line.
Nice. Yeah, I'll bet it's nice. All right. So 5 seed in Volcano Vista making a run, and Elliot Pascal-Bell's been terrific. They played each other before. It's been a Cleveland. Cleveland's kind of owned this series. Should we expect anything different?
I mean, you would think if there's a year, this would be the year, right? I mean, Volcano Vista's had some really good quarterbacks come through their system. Obviously, you know, Diego Pavia comes to mind, Jake Deathridge. But I don't think anyone's ever played at this level, the level that Elliot Pascal-Bell's playing at right now, at the right time of the season. You know, he's got some weapons. So you think if there's ever a year that they could get over that hump and beat Cleveland, it would be this year. Now, I think from a talent perspective, they have all the talent. I think it has become a mental thing for that team. You know, just talking to some of those guys, and just it's much more than just X's and O's. Cleveland has really put an imprint on that team. You know, you remember last year they were up 30, and the second half starts, and Volcano Vista opens the second half with 5 consecutive turnovers. I mean, I want to make the case. I really want to make the case for Volcano Vista this year.
But
it's tough.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, and you know, Sebastian, with that too, it's not like there won't be plenty of Cleveland Storm fans in attendance. It's just, you know, it's at New Senda Stadium instead of up there in Rio Rancho. But do you think, as you know, that team, you talk about that mental hurdle, them not walking in to the Cleveland Storm Stadium might just help them be in a different state?
I think it'll help a little because I've heard them talk about that.
It's interesting.
Home field advantage at Cleveland, right? With the cannons going off on the touchdowns, the student section being so much bigger at Cleveland, the PA announcer being such a homer, all those things. Well, you know, maybe the fact that it'll be a community will help. And let's not just have this be a Volcano Vista narrative. Cleveland is a really good football team, right? They have the best receiver in the state in Nick Trujillo. Stratton Schufeld's going to be D1 defensively. They have a nice secondary. They got weapons everywhere. Their defense has gotten better ever since that trip to Texas when they played Friendship. So it's not just, can Volcano rise to the occasion? By the way, there's the number 1 seed on the other side. So all those other distractions, if those weren't an issue, you're still playing in the Cleveland Storm.
The other side of this, Sebastian Noel's with us, and you know how I feel about this. The number 2 seed's got to go on the road because the way this NMA system is, I think it's so jacked up. They got to go down to Las Cruces to play Centennial on the road.
Well, yeah, because, you know, somebody's grandpa, when they played on the team, they hosted it. So now we gotta flip
because
it.
Centennial wasn't even a blip on the radar when their grandpas played.
Yeah, right. Well, those two teams have some recent history, but yeah, still, it's silly.
All right, talk about the game, though. I mean, the matchup. So they played earlier in the season. It was really good. I was at that one. I was with you at that one. That was when La Cueva came back and scored 2 late touchdowns, beat them up at Wilson Stadium. That was, I think, week 3 of the season.
Yeah, you know, usually in those return games, I like the other team, but I don't know. La Cueva's gotten a lot better offensively throughout the year. I think Aiden Armenta's confidence just has gone through the roof since that game you and I saw on the sideline. He's just so in rhythm with all his receivers now. I mean, it just looks different, man. When he runs the offense now, it just looks different. I mean, there is a confidence to him, a swagger to him, the leadership now. I think it's all come together on that side of the ball. And really, more importantly, their running backs are healthy. I think the key to that team winning a championship is Gabriel Bowie, and if he's healthy, they can do that. Defensively, you know, that game against West Mesa is going to stick in a lot of people's mind. Like, how could a team that good give up that many points? but that's still a very good defense. With Mason Posa, he's going to be D1, right? Lobo's already offered. I don't know if that's going to be the only offer. I think he's going to get some bigger offers. You know, they have a great secondary back there with Colt Mangino. He's going to be preferred walk-on at New Mexico State. Was offered to him. They have a lot of weapons defensively. That's a good defense. But if you're stuck on that one game against West Mesa where they gave up all those points, then you're going to say, well, they're going to struggle. But I don't see that. Now, Centennial, you and I saw that. I mean, Jeff, you've been to a lot of games as well. That's the biggest offensive line in high school.
Really big. Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive. So if they can control the tempo, keep Aiden Armenta on the sideline, keep their offense on the field, they're going to win that game.
Now, Sebastian, you touched on the Cleveland. Like, they're the number one team for a reason. Don't overlook that. There's a reason they've been so successful, not just against Volcano Vista, but against everyone else. And you look at the playoffs, and I think it's probably a challenge for these coaches, but the top teams, they're not tested. But they go out there, they handle their business, and they blow the doors out their opponents. Cleveland over Los Lunas, Centennial over Rio Rancho, La Cueva blew out Farmington. Now, we had a good game between Volcano Vista and Hobbs, but when you're talking to these coaches too, just about staying consistent and handling their business after a bye week, blowing teams out, not getting tested until this point.
Well, I think when you talk to coaches, especially those kind of coaches of those teams, both La Cueva and Cleveland had a really tough regular season. So I think they kind of knew, at least in La Cueva's sense, they knew that their district play would be a little softer, right? But La Cueva needed that because they needed to get healthy after that brutal part of the schedule. So, I think it's more about rhythm and what you're doing. When your schedule's like that, coaches tell me, well, it gives us a chance to focus on us, right? Just on what we're doing. Now, Cleveland plays in a very tough district, and even though they've been a lot of blowouts, they still have to rise to the occasion for some of those games, right? The rivalry game with Rio Rancho is always big, even if Rio Rancho's down. That game with Volcano Vista, that's always huge, right? Even though they've kind of owned them a little bit in the recent history. So, it's a little different, but yeah, there have been so many blowouts. But Cleveland regular season as well, right? They go to Texas a couple of times. They had some tests during the regular season. They played Centennial as well, so they played La Cueva as well. So I think both teams are kind of in the same place. They're getting healthy and just working on them.
All right, quickly, 5A. I hate that the number 1 seed's got to go on the road. Do they go see the 5 seed? Number 1 seed, Artesia, is going on the road to Deming. 3rd seed, Piedra Vista, will be in Roswell. Chalk there? I mean, I guess Artesia's got to go on the road, but they're really, really good.
Oh, yeah, that might be over at halftime again, just like last week when Valley went to Artesia. So, and I like Roswell. Roswell's already beat Piedra Vista once. I think they're going to do it again pretty easily. And so that will set up a really nice championship with Roswell and Artesia. And I don't know who owes who in that series, but either way, either the Wool Bowl is going to be full in Roswell or the Bulldog Bowl is going to be full in Artesia. That's going to be a great championship game. And Roswell could win that game. Roswell is so well coached. Coach Lynn does such a great job. They have the athletes. They have the athletes to put up points against Artesia. That's the thing with Artesia. They're going to put up so many points. I think Roswell's the only other team in that classification that could put up as many points.
That's right. All right, the other game, so 4A semifinals, Lovington will be at Silver. The 4 travels to the 1. Taos, the 3, will travel to 2, Bloomfield. 3A, the 4 seed St. Mike's will go see Socorro, the top seed. And the number 2, Ruidoso, will take the trip to Raton, who's the 6th seed. Anything that stands out there that's must-see TV?
Taos, if you haven't seen Taos play, well, Taos is one of my picks to make it to the championship against Lovington. Those are two seeds that don't have a 1 or a 2 in front of them. Taos has a 6'8" quarterback and Damian Ellie. They've played all their games on the road because their home field's being renovated. Coach Abreu had some issues up there this year where, some claims were made by a player that were found to be totally false. You know how things go up north. So he was vindicated, and I think they're going to rally around him. And they're going to. I think Taos and Lovington are going to play for the championship. Lovington started the season winless until they went into district play, and that's pretty amazing.
Enjoy it. How do people watch you? So you got the 2 5A semifinals. Let people know how to find you.
Just go over to the NFHS network. You can search the school. You can also just go to ProViewNetworks.com, and our schedule's down there. You can click on the individual games that we're offering. That'll take you right over to the NFHS network site where you can stream the game.
Enjoy it. I'll be watching. I'm going to try to get out to this game Friday night. But have fun with that. He is the voice of the people. Sebastian Noel, thanks for your flexibility. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, be good, guys. Thanks a lot.
Be well, Sebastian Noel. He's got the night game Friday, and then they're going to run down to Cruces and do that other semifinal game. That's some work. The kind of work you understand.
Yeah, it's good. I know a lot of people have been wondering where the games have been at this season, and they're still hustling the opportunities that they can do, and now postseason football for you.
All right, if you're suffering with hair loss, I got an idea for you. If you're concerned about thinning hair, you should know about the industry-leading cutting-edge treatments for men and women to reverse that trend and restore your hair at NuMale. NuMale helps men and women feel better and look better by getting their hair back. The medical professionals will walk you through the procedure. You'll choose the process that's best for you. Platelet-rich plasma hair therapy that uses your own platelets, stimulates stem cells deep into your hair follicles, stop hair loss. You will regrow your hair. Clinically cleared hair restoration laser, proven to regrow your hair. In NeoGraft hair transplants, which produce natural-looking results in less than a week, there is no linear scarring. Men, ladies, call NuMale at 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688 or online at NuMale, NuMale.com. And fellas, NuMale helps guys all over the country deal with problems like fatigue, depression, weight gain, even erectile dysfunction. Their testosterone replacement has been feeling better and performing better. It's time to deal with it. Schedule your appointment at NuMale right here in Albuquerque. 505-652-1688. 505-652-1688 or online at NuMale.com.
So we approach the halfway point of the second half. Penny Hashigan's behind the defense now. A chance to knot this. It's a 2-goal game as Penny Hashigan gets a beauty from her sister Maddie Hashigan.
Well, here it's still 14-7, 3rd and 15. Montoya, it's just a draw. Stovall breaks one. He gets a block, and there it is, first down. How about Stovall? But I'll tell you what, it was the block of Makai Gonzalez that sprung that one free.
The stiffness in those balls they got today.
Pascal Bell's going to keep it. He sees a huge hole up the middle. Now he cuts to the sideline. He's got one more man to beat. Pascal Bell is going to go in for the touchdown. No, they marked him short.
For her team, she feeds that one.
Wow, great ball, Ed.
Savannah Sanchez, can she get number 2? She dishes it to Solis.
Unselfish. How unselfish was that play?
Amazing.
What a beautiful ball dished off for the guaranteed goal. I love it.
Help these guys out.
He's out in motion at the top. They'll hand it up the middle instead. Huge hole. He's shot out of a cannon, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Andres Villalobos.
Castro, there's the screen. It's complete. Oh, he escapes the first tackler, breaks a tackle. Nothing but green, rumbling, stumbling. He could go all the way. That's Kenneth Size. Sizes up the end zone for 6. With the body language, Jackson went to the sideline and gave his coach a little bit of a handshake. Oh.
Interception right into the hands of Gabe Pino, and Pino's off to the races. It's a touchdown for Volcano Vista. It's a pick 6 for Pino. Fires score on a 47-yard run for Villalobos. The extra point was no good, and it's 14-6 Nashville. Byron Cooper alongside 30-yard line. So this is our star here. He's going to keep it. This is Cordova looking for some room. Cordova's got some room. He cuts back up the middle. Can they chase him down? No. T-Sizzle is going to the house. It's a touchdown for Justin Cordova.
Every time I see Cordova.
Lovington can be dangerous from here.
We'll see what they do. Lucas Contreras, he goes for goal, and he's got it. He's done that twice in his career, and this time it puts his team ahead on the Hope Christian Huskies. And welcome back here. Right on time for the second half. He goes for goal, and he makes it.
Are you kidding me? Brian Ramirez saw the keeper sleeping, and he just did him right off the kickoff. Oh, my goodness.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
An AM 610, the sports animal.
Set your lineups footy tonight. Packers and Titans. Thursday night football here on 95.9 FM AM 670. Sports animal. Lobos Aggies in hoops at the Pit on Saturday. There's a little buzz about that, isn't there? Greg Heyer is going to be with us, the Aggie coach, at 9 o'clock. Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Richard Pitino scheduled to be with us. There's a little buzz. You feeling it, Lobos Aggies?
A lot of buzz. This is the most buzz for a
people
Lobo basketball game in a few years.
Do you remember the last time the Aggies were in town? Do you remember what happened?
Logo stomping?
Logo stomping after that crazy bucket at the end. Remember in overtime, the Aggies hit that crazy reverse spinning
What will happen this
layup
Saturday?
and then bounce on the logo, and Eddie Nunez and Ed Manzanares and the staff get off the logo and oh, we're sorry, but we're not really sorry. And that was classless. No, it wasn't. You did it first. And remember?
You remember.
You remember.
Yeah, the phones were out of control.
Oh, I was you can't do that to us. That's everybody was losing their mind because they gave your logo a black eye or dented your floor or something like that.
You should remember that.
You remember
in a rivalry? Absolutely.
Saw the video. I think Grammer posted on the tweets yesterday, and I kind of was looking back. I looked at it a few times. It's funny, you just watch different people, and you know, I think when Jan Saudi ran over and was pulling people off, and Jan's is classless, and he didn't. Okay. Jans turned around and kind of looked at his wife and was stoked. And then when he turned around, he saw what was going on. He pulled those guys off. Right. He ran out there. And but there were dudes stomping on the logo. They got beat in their place. And what was it? They said Jalen House did something. Did he?
Oh, gosh.
It was like slowing down the film to see Jalen House swiped his leg over the Aggie logo.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, okay. That was disrespectful. And so we're going to, and then people are losing their mind.
We're going to triple down on it.
They jumped on our logo and you can't do that. Okay. Don't let
that's a sign of disrespect.
Okay.
You don't do that if you're not disrespecting your opponent or the fan base.
Okay.
I know that should hurt you as a fan. Yeah. Just like if Jalen House just went and did somersaults on the Aggie logo.
Yeah, all the bleacher talk is a rivalry.
Yeah. Like, that's the whole point of that. That's why you do that at center court.
No doubt. They found that
Do
logo.
you want to be doing that every single game? No.
Oh, I'm not telling you it was a coincidence.
Spicy in the moment.
Yeah, it was.
Now, it will be interesting because this is a brand new Aggie team.
Yep.
These dudes didn't do that.
None of these guys.
These dudes haven't experienced it.
None of them.
And it's real when you talk to coaches about the first time you play a rival, because those kids don't know. You can sit there and say, hey, this is a rival. This matters a lot to the fans. There's going to be intensity. But when you haven't done it, you don't know.
So that's why I would give the advantage in this one to the Lobos. Because, to your point, the Aggies are a young team who are walking into the Pit. And they played – now, I'll give them – they get a little bit of cred because they played at the Haskins Center the other day. So they got a taste of a rivalry. I think the Pit is more electric than the Haskins Center is. It's bigger. There's going to be a little bit more oomph to it. That's a young team that hasn't played together a lot, playing against a veteran team that is playing well right now. So I give the advantage to the Lobos simply because of that. To your point, what are they walking into? What are the Aggies walking into? How do they handle it? And we'll see. Now, I think Greg Heyer knows what they're walking into. And we're going to talk to him coming up at 9 o'clock this morning, the coach. He was up here. Remember when he that's when I introduced you to him, right? During the TBT?
Yes.
And he was kind of looking around. He had a smile on his face because you could feel it was like a mini atmosphere, right? Lobos, Aggies. That was when the Enchantment played, the Panamaniacs.
Yeah, there's 3,000 people there.
Yeah, and there was still kind of a buzz, though, right?
Yeah, there was. And it's a good point that the Aggies have already played a rivalry game on the road.
Yeah.
And so they have that experience, but it's going to be magnified, as you said, in this environment on Saturday. And it takes one time through each, I'm sure, for them to understand, oh, okay, so.
Got it.
Yeah, you're telling me it's a rivalry, I know. But until you're on the floor, then you realize the intensity.
And so on that staff, Billy Keys, who's a former Aggie guard. And look, you can tell guys all you want, man. You've been told about stuff. You've been told about atmospheres. You've been told about what you're getting into. And until you get into it, you don't get it, right? I mean, you can kind of prepare yourself. Okay, something's coming. Some mess is coming. Something's going to be real. Something's going to be different. They got 11-5 already out for this game, so probably about 13,000 going to be in the pit. I think the pit comes alive on Saturday night. People are fired up. The Lobos are 3-0. I think people are willing to buy in a little bit on Lobo basketball. And I think that feeds into the Aggies a little bit, right? Little brother wants to come back and bite you a little bit. Been an Aggie year so far. They beat you in football. Beat you in women's basketball the other night. It's kind of a big one. Saturday night's going to be fun in the pit. Greg Heyer's going to be with us at 9 o'clock. We'll talk to him. 8:30 this morning, Jerry Palm will do some college football. 2 weeks left in the regular season. New Mexico Bowl 1 month from today. Get your tickets today. Sales going on, by the way. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, A-Marie, and Adrian produce it on the TV side. Watch the show on our ProView Network's YouTube channel, Comcast Channel 26. And our Facebook page, the OD in the AM.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am an Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports. Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't quit. For more information on Air Force Special Warfare, contact me at the number listed below.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others.
U.S. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit International Protective Services.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta, and JJ Bach.
All right, the number 2 team in the country goes down big last night. Gonzaga, their worst loss, at least by numbers, in 8 years since 2014, 97-74. Texas kicked the crud out of Gonzaga last night. You get football tonight. NFL starts your weekend. It is the Packers and the Titans. Good morning to you. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. We're going to be joined by CBS Sports' Jerry Palm coming up at 8:30. We'll get you through this weekend, and the final 2 weeks of the regular season are staring at us. Bowl season 1 month from today in Albuquerque. New Mexico Bowl 1 month from today. It'll be 4 Saturdays from this coming Saturday. It's coming at you quick. All right. Every one of us has played golf at Arroyo, right? I mean, every one of us, everybody I know has played golf at Arroyo del Oso. Who doesn't love going out there? And you've had a beer at the Bear Trap, and you go by, and you had a bourbon at the Bear Trap, and you've had a good time there. There's some,
plural.
Yeah, no, I promise. All right, we got a problem out there, and I want you all to help. Crystal joins us from over at Arroyo. Crystal, it sounds like the last couple of nights you've had some thugs busted in there and stealing golf carts. Is that what's going on? Good morning, by the way.
That is correct.
Good morning. Yeah.
That is correct. Early Tuesday morning, we had somebody break in, and they were playing demolition derby with our carts, wrecked 11 of them, and stole one. And then last night they came in again, stole 4. So far, we've recovered 2 in the Northeast Heights and Jefferson, Osuna, and McKinney area. We're still missing 3. They're gray club car golf carts. They're gray bodies with gray and black seats.
So
and we need help trying to recover these.
Yeah, basically, if you see a golf cart laying around somewhere, it's theirs. And what's the number they can call you, Crystal, and get help get them back over there?
If they call the shop at 505-884-7505, and any of my staff members can help with that.
884-7505?
Yes.
All right. This sucks, man. So they're just coming in the middle of the night and just busting in and taking carts off the charger?
They're gas carts. So last night they even took our gas cans, and so we found the gas can with one of the carts this morning, and we found it all the way down at Alameda and 4th Street.
Damn, really? You get good gas mileage.
We had one on McKinney and Harper, one on Jefferson and Osuna, and now one down in the North Valley.
At least they get good gas mileage. They can go for a while, for crying out loud.
Yes, they do.
Holy smokes. All right, well, we'll mention this a few times, but keep your eye. If you just see a golf cart, I mean, it's probably theirs. We just do them a solid. You've all been out there. You've all had a good time out there. I know Crystal and that staff and Jim and everybody else have treated you well out there. 505-884-7505. Help them get their carts back. And